3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Clickmates podcast, your favorite place ever, bar none. I'm George.
I am Sam. I do not like egg, greens, and ham.
Shut up, you're not funny. And joining us again for the second time,
Jarick.
And we've got one ditty of a show to put on for you folks today.
Because,
For starters, we have video now.
it's actually in video this time. Hello. I hope it doesn't crap out on us. I pray to God. It shouldn't. We should be okay.
It's decent equipment now.
We should
we're
be
not
okay.
just solely
Yeah.
filming using phones.
Yeah,
or
we got
anything like
a $10,000
Super camera, yeah.
red super camera that used for IMAX actually.
Yeah, we stole it off of the latest Mission Impossible set.
I was gonna say Christopher Nolan. We stole it off the Oppenheimer set.
We can't even keep our stories straight.
So,
It's better that you don't know exactly where they stole it from.
Yeah.
yeah, you probably don't want to know actually.
But anywho,
In any case of a fictional story, welcome back, Jarick. What have you been up to?
Oh, I've been all around the world, specifically just here in Florida.
that is basically
the whole world.
But I've been up north in Florida. I've been down south in Florida, and I've been all around. And currently, we're at my house right now. We're outside on my patio, and I do live near the street, like a short stone throw from the street. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, my life's been pretty same. I have had a couple big things happen, such as going to Rolling Loud.
Ooh, I can't wait to get into that one.
Mm-hmm. But besides that, nothing new.
All right. Well, welcome back. I guess we should do some personal updates as well, because we are humans with lives outside of this show.
Barely for me.
Barely anything for you.
Barely anything.
Okay. I can also talk about this a bit later, but I have been talking to some different real estate brokers, like I mentioned last episode, and there's been some different results from that. But that's just a little tidbit. I doubt anyone's going to care about that anyway, because it's real estate. But we'll get into that later. Now, starting today off, since it is our first video podcast, finally, what is this, episode 12? And we finally have video. We've been trying to do it since the first one.
12 or 13, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think we're on 12. No, 13. We're on 13, actually.
So, because we have video, we're now going to break into a choreographed dance routine.
Okay.
Jarick, you start.
It's funny. When I was a kid, I went to a hip hop dance class, which really all involved is us doing the choreography from In It to Win It, or was it either that or Get Your Head in the Game. It was from High School Musical. And we had basketballs, and I have no idea how it was hip hop, but yeah. So
it was like the Disney Channel definition of hip hop.
I have had dance classes, but
oh my god, it's like, remember that one scene in like Camp Rock when like I think it was Joe Jonas had like the hip hop instructional class in the middle of the movie, and all it was is he had people pick up microphones and put on baseball caps backwards, and then they just did like exaggerated hand movements.
I don't remember this.
And there was no like actual like hip hop dancing of any sort involved.
I've also not seen Camp Rock, you said? Yeah, I've not seen Camp Rock, so...
I haven't seen it since I was a wee lad.
Dude, it's just so funny to me because, like, a lot of stuff, like, on Disney Channel, I thought was, like, cool when I was a kid. But looking back on it now, I'm like, why are they wearing, like, so many, like, layers? Like, who dresses like that?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was ever actually cool.
I was one of those kids where I was really uncool, but I also was like, the Disney Channel's not cool. I can't be caught watching this. No one would respect me.
I feel like studios and from any company has always found it really hard to nail down what exactly it's like in high school.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's always been really hard for them. Even a show like Euphoria, which Euphoria is like,
Probably one of the better examples.
yeah, it's like a darker take on it and better examples. I think they go a little bit too overboard for most schools. If they could have
Tone it down a
Tone
little
it
bit.
down a little
it's,
bit.
Yeah, I think it's always exaggerated for the camera. The different clicks.
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
I mean I get it. They have to sell a show somehow.
Right.
Because honestly, like,
Because if it was realistic, it
would be
probably
boring.
wouldn't be very interesting. Yeah. That being said, I think Euphoria probably is one of the closer examples. I think another good example is a recent show called Heartstopper, if I have the name right. It's a British show about teenagers and like boys and girls, separate schools, like not primary school. That's like elementary school.
yes.
British high school, pretty much. And I think that show does a very good job because, there's your different kinds of people, but, there's like one or two characters that are like really trying to sell a role. But overall, it's pretty realistic, I would say. There's not like flocks of jocks or nerds like walking around in big groups. And, there's not like, oh, we're going to have
No.
a chess battle,
We like it when it's as over-exaggerated as possible. When I watch a high school show, I look for something like Riverdale, which I don't know if you've heard, but apparently in the season finale of that show...
Is that show finally done?
No, they're still going. So all of the kids came together and pooled their superpowers into, I think, Cheryl, so she could turn into the Scarlet Witch and reset continuity back to the 1950s.
What? And again, this is the show that was
About
made...
the triumphant highs and lows of high school football, yeah.
But it's based on the Archie comic strip.
Yes.
Riverdale's based off Archie.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I used to love Archie.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. George has talked to me about this before. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast.
We
But
definitely talked about it in person.
But Riverdale is
Like, not on
just
podcast.
insane.
It's like almost to the point...
I don't think any show has jumped the shark as much as Riverdale.
The only
has.
time I've ever watched Riverdale is when it's like on one of the TVs at the gym. But
Yeah, it is
That's the
it's
one that-
definitely one of those kinds of shows.
That's the one that Dylan Sprouse is in?
I think it's Cole.
Cole
I think it's
Sprouse.
Cole Sprouse.
Yeah, Cole Sprouse.
He plays Jughead. And he's always wearing a beanie.
And he has that one like speech where he was like, "I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm a loser," or something like that. I forgot what he said. He was like, "I'm a social outcast. You don't want to talk to me."
I want to see this.
There's one-
I'm not familiar with this speech.
To start off with, there's one YouTube video, I think I could find it if I just like search termed it enough, that describes like what makes Riverdale like so like enticing. Because the first season of the show, from what I gather, was pretty normal.
Yeah.
It was like an adaptation of like the like Archie comics, not like any of the weird, because like Archie comics get really weird like too. Like they have like paranormal stuff, but that's typically in like joke issues for the most part. It's typically just like all about normal high school stuff.
Mhm.
And so season 1 was just like an exaggerated like high school drama. And then the season 1 finale has Archie's dad get shot in a mugging. And then everything goes off the rails.
Damn.
The show ends up revealing that 3 separate characters were serial killers the whole time. Someone was a cultist, someone is like the reincarnation of like a god. There's like a cult that goes around killing people. There's a whole episode where they're just like playing D&D in detention and like the monsters are real or something. I have no idea.
What?
I mean, I feel like you've done a pretty good job at selling it.
I mean,
Because I'm kinda
I definitely
interested
would
in
like
it.
to see some of it just because it sounds ridiculous. But
I like crazy ass shit like that. I like
Like supernatural.
I'm not gonna lie, I like me a good cult.
You should join the FLDS.
The Fundamental Church of Latter-day Saints.
You
Yes.
should join the Church of United Truth.
I think I joined Scientology before. I don't know though. I think the FLDS is the ones that are racist.
I would join Scientology before the FLDS. The FLDS are like the extremist Mormons who believe in polygamy,
Yeah,
and
and
the prophet has all the power, and he says,
Yeah.
you're going to marry this person tomorrow.
Yeah, they're also the
Yeah.
ones who believe in like the mark of Cain. You know what the mark of Cain is?
You got to give me a refresher.
So
afterwards.
Cain and Abel.
Yeah, Cain killed his brother.
Cain killed his brother Abel, and it
and
said
got marked, and didn't it like make him like immortal or something? So he
yeah,
was like
so
cursed to walk the earth.
So apparently Cain's still walking around here somewhere. But
It's me.
that being said, the mark of Cain also apparently made his skin dark. So that's where like racist like Christians think black people came from.
Yo, wait
is
a
that they have the mark of Cain.
Oh.
And then they think that when
That's
when they
that's
die,
weird.
when these black people die, the mark of Cain will be lifted. So that means they'll be white in heaven.
Holy shit!
If they're good Christians, they'll be white in heaven.
I
So
did not know that bit.
So are
not
we
read
just
the
going to
Bible
ignore
in a
the
while.
fact that people of African descent have like slightly different bone structures and stuff, and even if they, like an albino black person doesn't look like a white person.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's dumb, but I mean, think about it. Like it's the it's the fundamental church of life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to argue about obvious facts. Of course, you're not
no
gonna-
opinion. It's you're already you're no offense to any Latter-day Saints, but they're already taking like a church that is kind of fucking crazy from the get-go. When you hear like how the LDS church started, and then you say, okay, that's kind of out there, but I can accept it. And then you take it and you make it even more extreme with the fundamental church, like Church of Latter-day Saints. It's like okay, no,
That's a cult.
it's crazy.
And that is like a cut. What's the term? Cut and dry, cut and sold. That is a like textbook version of a cult. I mean, they've got the prophet at the head who's in control of everything. All the money and power is going towards them, and everyone else has to like worship them. How is that not a cult?
So,
But here's a question.
yeah,
Is Scientology a cult?
yes.
Yeah?
Yes, it is, but I would definitely.
I mean,
say,
I also say yes, but...
I would definitely say it's like slightly more of a pyramid scheme
This
than it is a cult.
It is a pyramid scheme, but it's also a cult.
It's
and,
both.
And this is why it's a cult, because what they do is they have these confessions, right, where you're supposed to confess all of your sins and whatnot, and then they record these sessions, and what they'll do is they'll blackmail people, and if they want to leave earlier, it's like, oh wait, don't you remember saying all this shit in your confessional?
Yeah.
Do you really want to leave the church? And it's a pyramid scheme because you actually have to pay to ascend.
And like get the next teaching of the gospel.
Yeah.
Yes.
They hook you up to this machine that apparently like activates brain waves and shit, and then it costs money to do that. So
that's why a lot
I
of
forget the
celebrities
terminology,
end up-
but did you see the Leia Remini documentary about Scientology?
I did not.
No.
Because that's where I heard all of this stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? We still don't know too much about like what they believe.
And it's just funny to me because like it literally
You should ask Tom Cruise.
it literally is like just a fact that the creator of Scientology just fucking made up a bunch of random bullshit.
It's based on a sci-fi novel.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he
Dianetics.
he was a sci-fi writer.
Yeah. A proficient sci-fi writer.
and he's just like, all right, praise Xenu.
I mean, it literally will make as much sense as if H.G. Wells made a real cult around Cthulhu. Literally would be like the same thing.
Yeah.
And that sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Like,
But H.G. Wells didn't make Cthulhu.
That was H.P.
definitely
That was
H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft. Why
do you always forget about Lovecraft?
It took me a second.
My bad.
It took me a second.
you bought me a book about Lovecraft. I really should know that.
I was like registering that, and I was like, wait a minute, did
It's
it?
like
Lovecraft
H.G. Wells was
make
War
it?
of the Worlds.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean-
Lovecraft, not Wells. My bad.
I mean, saying if Wells made a religion around War
Around
of
the
Worlds,
tripod aliens.
and if he was
yeah.
like War of the Worlds is going to happen. We have to prepare.
That's the Rapture event.
You know, then it would still be the same thing. Or if H.P. Lovecraft created a cult around Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I swear, this podcast is gonna end up just being like a religious critique podcast someday.
No, oh my god.
We never intend for it, but anyone who's listened to several episodes of this is gonna notice that we always end up talking about religion.
But one more thing before we segue. So, you guys, of course, know of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, right?
of course.
Praise.
I think that that's just hilarious. There are not that many examples of like a bogus bullshit fake religion where I haven't really ever heard anything bad about it. It's just a bunch of people were like, wouldn't it be funny if we made like a mock religion where like we worshipped Cthulhu but if he was made out of spaghetti?
Yeah, and
We put colanders on our head when we take oaths and stuff.
and it's like a real big like social commentary.
Yeah.
Because we live in a country that is freedom of religion, and we're allowed to express our religion in any ways. So
Yeah, however we want.
So however we want. So it's like the one lady who said that she wanted to take her driver's license picture with a spaghetti strainer on top of her head.
Yeah,
I remember
because
that.
it was part of her religion, and I think they let her do it.
Yeah.
So, what I'd like to do is I would like to talk about Rolling Loud, but
Yes.
if
Yeah.
possible, maybe I'd like to kind of split it into parts, so I can tell you guys interesting things because it was 3 days long. I feel like if I just explained it all in one go, it would get long, repetitive. So maybe at 3 different points in the podcast, I
Okay.
can bring
How
up.
about we do like each day then?
All right, so day one, I'll talk about day one. Right
Yeah.
now.
Tell us about like the setup and all that. First.
Yeah.
Okay, and then first of all, Rolling Loud is of course a big
It's a
concert.
rap. It's a rap festival, 3 days long. In my this particular one, I went to the Miami, Florida one, 2022, and it was very interesting. Now I'm talking about me personally, I had never seen this many people in one place in my life. That's how many people was there.
Holy shit.
And I'm just looking at this. I'm like, each person here played like $500, $600. This festival easily made over $1 million. I feel like, like just
Maybe over a bill.
in food and drinks, like a lot. They made a lot of money, and I just remember because first off, I'll start with the first thing. This is something I didn't know. So people who lived close to the festival were renting out their own personal parking spots at their house.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I parked in the back of this dude's yard, and we walked 30 minutes to the festival place.
You had to work 30 minutes?
It's the parking, like the parked company said it was a 14-minute walk. It was not a 14-minute walk.
I love that.
Luckily though, the second and third day we took a trolley there because they had people were hustling outside of this festival. People would buy water bottles and sell them $1 a piece. People were selling alcohol. People were selling weed. And weed isn't even legal to sell out on the street here. People were like, you can't. I remember this one guy who was all like, you can't go to Rolling Loud without loud. I got pre-rolls. And he was like holding up like a thing of like a backwood thing that had pre-rolled backwoods in it. And he was selling those. And people were selling water. People were trying to buy wristbands off of people, the Rolling Loud wristbands. People were selling rides. So like there's like golf cart rides or like chair, like the things where the bike pulls it.
Yeah.
They were selling those. So we get into the venue, and the area is it was at the Hard Rock Stadium. If anyone's been to the Hard Rock Stadium. this place was huge. Like literally, like there's one stage that was like right here, and then there was like 5 stages that was all the way down here. So if you wanted to go to that stage, you could, but then you had to walk over here for everything else. So I'm just gonna tell you, who the first day it was pretty cool. I don't remember who we all went and saw, but we saw like artist after artist. So you never had an opportunity to like not be seeing someone perform.
Like there's always someone on stage.
There's always somebody on a stage.
How many was it? Just like one big stage, or were there like several?
There
like,
was
venues?
there was like a bunch of different venues. There was like I think 5 or 6 in total.
Huh.
So yeah.
There were like a fuck ton of total artists, wasn't it? Like, I don't know, 60 or 70 or even more.
So
I think.
Any notable artists that you remember seeing on the first day?
Kid Cudi, Fabio Foreign. He was the dude that was I'm not sure if you guys listen. You definitely know Off the Grid with
Yeah.
Kanye. Fabio was the dude who was just rapping on that one.
That was like one of my favorite songs off Donda.
Yeah, so those 2 guys were great. Kid Cudi ended up walking off stage.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
damn! What happened with that?
So he was performing his music, and everyone was calling his name, Cudi. Like the crowd loved Cudi. Social media made it seem like everyone like was booing Cudi and didn't want Cudi there. Almost everyone wanted Cudi there, but
Cudi didn't want himself there.
yeah, no. What happened was someone during the entire show they were throwing these little packets out at us, right? And it was called emergency water, and you just bit into it and then you could drink the water.
Oh, okay.
And they're just trying to keep everyone hydrated, so they're just throwing it this, and then Cudi's up there performing, and then plop, he gets smacked in the face with one of the packets because someone in the crowd threw it back on there, and then he just starts yelling. He's all like, "Listen, if I get hit with one more thing on this, up on the stage, if I get hit with one more fucking thing, I'm walking off, and you're gonna ruin it for everybody." And with the perfect comedic timing, someone yeeted one right up there and landed right next to him, and he just dropped the mic and walked off. And he didn't even get halfway through his set.
Jeez.
He literally pulled like the same bit that like teachers back in like middle school would pull on me.
Yep.
Like, all right, guys, if you don't knock it off,
yeah,
then I'm gonna give out extra homework.
Do you think that was justified, or do you think he was being childish about that?
I mean,
I'd say he overreacted a little bit, but at the same time, he was like justified, because like that's just disrespect. Like, I know that like at something like a huge music festival, it's gonna be hard to like control everybody, and it does suck that so many people like were there and they wanted to see Kid Cudi, and that was kind of like hampered like a bit, like tainted.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, if I was like up on stage and people kept throwing shit at me, and I know there'd be some people that are like, well, it's not like we were like throwing anything like bricks, we were just throwing like water, it was like funny. Still like annoying and like disrespectful.
Right, like no one likes something being thrown at them.
Yeah. I'd say firstly, you gotta understand that from the beginning, Kid Cudi was gonna have a little bit of a problem because he was not supposed to be the one headlining that day.
Oh.
It was supposed to be Kanye.
Oh.
Now, Kanye...
Was he like a fill-in for him then?
Yeah, he was a fill-in for Kanye.
Damn.
So Kanye, he didn't show up. Rolling Loud announced it like a week before Rolling Loud that he wasn't going to show up. Mind you, if records are correct, Kanye told Rolling Loud like back in May that he wasn't going to show up.
And
But
they
Rolling
waited,
Loud-
They waited like a week
before.
because he's Kanye. They wanted the ticket sales.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's so
I
fucking
love
scummy.
I love that, man. Man, concert venues are just the worst. 'Cause
Fun-
he's
Fun fact though, Kanye did actually end up showing up.
really.
Yep. He was at the Little Dirk show, which was the only show that was happening the same time as Kid Cudi's show.
Oh my god.
Shit, dude.
And I missed it because I was at Cudi
Kid
show.
Cudi show. So you missed Kanye.
Yeah, I had heard like in the crowd, like, yeah, Kanye showed up to the Little Dirk show. I was like, they're full of horseshit. Ain't no way Kanye showed up after not showing up to his own set.
Holy shit.
He did.
Jarick, I'm sorry.
He did.
Oh
Kanye's
man.
like your favorite fucking artist.
Yeah, I know. It's all good, but
I would have been fucking livid.
I was because Kid Cudi walked off, so I didn't get to see his full set, and then I missed Kanye.
So you
And
just
then,
had
and then
so-
you just like walked in, like I imagine you like went to like someone else's set like after that, or like
no,
you did
the only
something.
other person set on it was after Kid Cudi's was Little Dirk, and the person I was with was really interested in seeing Dirk. I knew we weren't gonna get a good spot anyways, so I didn't even show up. If I knew Kanye was there, obviously would have showed
So
up.
you're just like, there's no point in going to this other one, and then later you find out that
I was
Kanye-
literally in the hotel room on Twitter because I was looking up at people. I was looking up like people's reaction to Cudi being like going off stage on Twitter, and then all of a sudden I saw a tweet that was like, Kanye comes out to Rolling Loud during Lil Durk's set, and Cudi gets booed off his stage. This is crazy. I'm like, Kanye showed up to Lil Durk's set, and then I see the footage, and I'm like, fuck. But yeah, so that was the first day. We didn't really know what we was doing. We didn't really had planned out who all we wanted to see that day, so it was a little bit of a mess. But we did see a decent amount of people. And I'll tell you one more story, because I told George about this. How I almost got in 2 fights during the 3-day event.
I've been
on
looking
Rolling
forward to
Loud.
this.
So the first day. Now this is a. I'll put it like this. On the first day, I wasn't quite all there in my head. I was let's just say I was drunk. All right, so I was drunk, and I remember I was looking around, and I remember seeing this dude, and I'm just gonna give you a description of him. Not that it's too relevant, but it is kind of relevant. So he was like black. He was like dark, all like between my skin shade and like my shirt. Like he was dark, and his eyes were like really red. Not the type of red that happens when you smoke weed. It was like the type of red that like when you're like been crying or something like that.
Oh.
But he looked mad. He looked furious, like
Livid.
like livid.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him, and I'm just wondering to myself, why is he so mad? And I'm looking at him, and then finally he shakes his head and he walks off, right? Mm-hmm. It occurs to me that I thought he was looking past me, but I was actually staring directly at this dude. He was staring directly back at me. And that's why after staring him down for like 30 seconds, he shook his head and walked off. Because I was staring him down. And I'm like, damn, he was looking at me like that? Like he looked pissed. Like I was like, it was crazy because I was like, I was staring this dude down for like a good amount of time. And I was so drunk that I was thinking to myself, I couldn't even remember if he had actually looked mad before I started staring him down or not, or if him being mad in the first place was from me looking at him.
Dude, okay, it has to be he was already mad, because that's just...
Because it doesn't make any
If
sense.
so-
Why
if
would he
someone-
why would he get so mad? He looked like he was crying
if
from you looking at him.
If somebody like made like continuous eye contact with me, I would just be like, that's like creepy.
Yeah, but I mean, I was staring him down though. But you gotta understand, like, sometimes staring someone down is like a sign of like disrespect. Like you're like,
well, yeah,
you know, like,
I mean, I get that, but like, did he like make an emotion to you? Or he's just looking at
no,
you?
he was just staring me down. But it was obvious that he looked at me and then he shook his head when he saw that I wasn't gonna break eye contact with him. Mind you, I was literally just looking at his eyes because I was like astonished at how red his eyes was. But I was like looking him dead in his eyes. He was looking me dead in my eyes. And I realized that after he
How
walked
close
away.
was he to you?
Probably like me to like that box right there. That brown box that's up
So
on the
like
boxes.
maybe like 10 feet.
Maybe 10 feet.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, that is
And-
fairly close.
So, he walked away, shaking his head, and I was just like, damn, that was... And you know what? If he had, like, came up to me, I wouldn't have been able to even properly express myself and tell him why I was staring
Because
at
you're
him.
too wasted?
Because I was just too wasted. So I was like, I think I would have either A, had to fight him, or if I was too wasted to fight, just took that ass whooping, bro. Like, because that dude definitely probably could have beat me up.
Dude, it's just so funny how sometimes, like, I don't know, like, specific, like, circumstances or whatever can, like, change your perspective. Because from your point of view, Jarick, you were just like, oh, damn, homie really going through it right now. That's like...
Exactly.
Damn,
You're like,
his
what's
eyes
wrong
are-
with
I
this
was,
guy?
I was like, I was like trying to figure it out. I
Is
was
he
like,
okay? And
yeah,
from his perspective, he's like, dude, why is this fucking asshole
staring at
staring at me?
Because I was literally
This is mad annoying.
It was literally like I literally came from a place of like compassion. I was like worried about Buddy because he looked like he was like upset, and I'm like, why are you so upset, bro? We're at a festival, like we're at Rolling Loud. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, why
He was
are you so
upset because he
mad?
missed Kanye.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that was day one. Everything.
Yeah, so that's day one. That's good for now then, because
Yeah.
you want to split it up.
Yes.
We can.
We can. So,
What other topics did you look up?
honestly, I didn't like any of them.
You don't like any of them?
I didn't like any of them because
I
there was
have-
also mention of the other Al Qaeda guy
No.
and like sports stuff.
As always, I have to bring it back up and talk about, like, nerdy, like, comic book related stuff. So, it was announced yesterday that the Batgirl movie was canceled. It will not be hitting theaters or HBO Max like it was initially slated to.
Dang
But
it.
what's really funny is that the
Dang
movie
it.
is already finished.
It's already finished and they're not
They
gonna
spent
release it?
$90 million on it, and it's never seen the
So,
light of day.
so it's been fully filmed. It's probably getting edited.
it
like
was getting edited
like it was in post production.
Yeah.
So they must have decided that the net return on it would not have been worth finishing editing.
Dude,
Well, see, but that's a thing that doesn't make. That's a thing that I'm curious about, because if they've already sunk 90 million into it, and it's in editing, they've already done the whole thing. You would think, even if they're like, this isn't gonna really return us anything, you would think they would still at least like finish it and upload it so
Yeah.
that they can get the little bit of return that
Exactly.
they would
It's
get.
like if they're 90 million in the hole, and then they put it out, and it sells like makes $10 million.
but also...
It would still be better than making zero.
Well, they often say that for major motion pictures, the advertising is like half of the budget, and it is not included in the budget that you see. Because the budget that you see when you look up a movie is typically only the actual production budget. So, I'm wondering maybe... Alright, here's what I think happened. They've put 90 million into this movie. Now, when you really think about it, for a superhero movie in the modern day, $90 million is a pretty small budget. A lot of these movies are costing $250, $300 million to make. You know, the Avengers movies costing like $350 million to produce one of those. And then there's the marketing. So what I think is the movie is probably really bad. And the producers have been shown a version of the movie, and they said, and again, I'm speculating, they probably said that, oh my holy hell, this piece of shit is so bad, we cannot let people see this, it will be so bad for us. So just scrap it, don't edit it, don't bother with any of the marketing budget, just take the loss and move on. That's my guess. It's probably a terrible movie. Because, George, you were saying yesterday that you think it might be because of the fact that there's, like, different Batmans playing.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to ramble about that in a second.
I mean, yeah, go ahead and ramble about that, but I don't see if that would really justify canceling the whole movie.
Okay, here's the thing. The bottom line is that the future state of the DCEU is in shambles, and it pretty much has been in shambles for the past, like...
Since it began.
Since it began, but really ever since, like I'd say 5 years ago when the original cut of Justice League came out and people started clamoring for the Snyder Cut. Because right now, here's everything that's going on. So, to start off with, even, like, before, like, going into, like, the exact issues behind why the movie, like, failed. Zack Snyder was planning all of his movies. He was originally going to do a total of 5 of them, Man of Steel to Batman v Superman, and then he was going to do a Justice League trilogy. But then, of course, like halfway through like the filming of Justice League, Zack Snyder had like a very personal family tragedy that he had to deal with, and so he stepped away, and the studio basically said, "Fuck you, bro," and they brought on Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
And he basically reshot the movie to be completely tonally different, so it felt
and worse.
It felt more like a like bad Avengers like spoof.
Yeah, because the last thing he done before that was Age of Ultron.
And there's a lot of really weird like unnecessary scenes, like when the Flash like falls on Wonder Woman's boobs, and he's like, it's so creepy, dude. It's such juvenile humor, and it's just fucked up. And so that movie...
And of course, that's not even to mention the fact that it's just a bad movie.
It is a bad movie. Because you can tell that it's been, like, edited down to hell. Because the theatrical release, I think, was, like an hour and 40 minutes. I'm looking this up.
Funnily enough, I've never seen the original one. I've only seen the Snyder Cut.
You're better off.
The Snyder Cut is better. I've seen most of the original, I believe. I actually watched it after the Snyder Cut, though.
I saw it in theaters, and I regret everything. Okay, no, it was 2 hours long. But that's still...
Well, there was a lot of footage.
And they're, like, in the original cut, the fact that the Flash just, like, saved that random, like, Russian family or whatever... And like,
but Russians are the bad guys now, so that's not even age.
And like Steppenwolf like wasn't like menacing, and like, but whatever. I'm not gonna get into the problems of the original Justice League.
This is all from a few years ago.
Yeah. So
but anyway, that's where it all started.
That happened, and the movie released, and like people who actually liked Zack Snyder's previous movies, which, like, they are like a dedicated like vocal fan base. Me personally, I typically don't like Zack Snyder's filming style. And I do think he portrays every, like, character way too, like, dark and gritty.
Which ones did he produce? He produced Batman v Superman, right?
Yeah.
He made Batman v Superman. He made Man of Steel.
And his cut of the Justice League.
He also made 300, if
and
you've ever seen 300.
He also made the Watchmen movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so...
I like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I'm so hyped for
Oppenheimer
next year, dude. Yeah. It's going to be so good. But, yeah, so a bunch of fans started clamoring, like, release the Snyder Cut. And DC is like, ugh, because, like, at this point, they were planning on going in a different direction because, like, people hated... they didn't hate Man of Steel, but they hated Batman v Superman. They hated the original Suicide Squad movie. They were like, we have to go in a different direction with this. Mm-hmm. So they start trying, like, different ideas, like, you know... yada yada yada, like the Aquaman movie, Shazam movie.
And those were a bit better.
I think, if I remember correctly, the first Wonder Woman movie came out slightly before Justice League, but the first Wonder Woman movie was pretty good. And then, of course, they're into, like, the thick of it, and then the whole, like, scandal with, like, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp came to light.
Which messes up Aquaman
Which messes up Aquaman 2, because she's Mera, which is the love interest of Aquaman, and she's one of the main characters. So now they're like, oh, fuck, we're going to have to, like, either, like, replace her, or we're going to, oh, God. And keep in mind at this point, like, Ray Fisher, who played, like, Cyborg in Justice League and the Snyder Cut, is, like, so pissed off at his, like, treatment and mishandlement that he's, like, never going to appear in the franchise ever again. DC's never going to try to do another, like, live-action Green Lantern movie again. Martian Manhunter shows up for, like, a bit in the Snyder Cut, like, barely. The second Wonder Woman movie just sucked. And, then, of course, they're like, well, to fully distance ourselves from, like, Zack Snyder's vision, we're probably going to need to just cast, like, a new Batman and Superman. And so they're like, buy Ben Affleck, buy Henry Cavill.
Oh, but Henry Cavill's good at Superman.
Henry
Cavill's a really good Superman.
He is a very good Superman. If he had the right director and writing team behind him, he would blow
When I think
He
of
would.
when I think of Superman,
He has the potential to be
just
better than
looks
I
Reeves.
like
think about it.
Superman.
I think about him. It's like kind of like the same with
The previous generation in Reeves.
it's yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like the actor. Oh man, his name slipped me. The actor for Wolverine,
Oh, Hugh
Hugh
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, and then the Robert Downey Jr. for
Yeah.
Tony Stark. It's just what I think.
Yeah.
And I think
Uh-huh.
the funny part is, like, in real life, Henry Cavill is a more accurate Superman than he is in his own Superman movies. Like, I've seen him in interviews, and he's, like, laughing, and he's, like, showing, like, heart and character and, like, compassion. That he actually, like, cares about people and the fans.
Yeah.
He just seems like a good
He
dude.
comes off like a genuinely good person who's also a big actor. Yeah.
And, of course, then the Snyder Cut does get released in 2020, I thought it was. I think it was. Was it 2020?
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, time slips away from me now. COVID ruined everything.
It did.
And
It really did.
that movie came out, and then Snyder's fans are like, so does that mean potentially we might get more Snyder films? And DC's like, oh no, literally Snyder's fucking finished. He's never making another movie for us ever again, Lamau. And the fans are like, all right. And then, of course, like, talk starts up again about the Flash movie that's been stuck in, like, development hell for years. And because we know it's going to be a Flashpoint movie, people are like, okay, this is going to reset continuity. And then they're just going to basically start the universe from scratch. Very fucking stupid, but okay. And there were a couple of other movies that were released. One of them was, like, good. They did another Suicide Squad movie by James Gunn when he was in the middle of being fired by Marvel before he got rehired to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Which is hysterical, because the first Suicide Squad movie sucked because it got recut to kind of try to emulate Guardians of the Galaxy, I feel. And then you have the guy that made Guardians of the Galaxy that made
Making the
movies,
remake.
making the remake, and the remake's really good. But then, finally, the beginning of the end is when all the stuff with Ezra Miller came out before the Flash movie even came out,
Oh
where
my
he's
God.
like grooming
What a
minors and he's
shithead
on
he
the
is.
run.
Yo, that dude is insane.
He's a menace,
Yeah.
dude.
What that came out of left field.
He's a
too.
real life villain.
Dude, it was so crazy because when all that stuff was dropping, every day something new would drop that was worse than the day
He
before.
was having like people. He was like flying girls out to his like farm or something.
Yeah, dude. Like, it started when like earlier this year when he was getting in like bar fights in Hawaii, and then it escalated up to like, yeah, he has like a fucking sex cult ranch,
Yeah, like,
and he's been grooming like several minors for years.
And and here's the thing: people can forgive actors being a dick, just kind of rude to people, even if they're like
It can happen with a job.
even if
Yeah.
they're slightly up on like a high horse. That's something people can forgive actors for as long as they are
Yeah.
good in the movies.
But with everything else in life, there's a line.
There's a definite line, and
Yeah.
we draw it at minors and sex cults.
And then all the stuff with like getting in drunk bar fights with people too. Like why are you
No.
why are you being just
think,
a wreck?
I think my favorite part is that the last I heard about him in the news is that he was on the run from the authorities, and apparently they have not caught him yet.
But if you have like a private jet, and
You can just like take off
you
somewhere.
can just take off somewhere, you have enough money. He could be on the run forever if you wanted to.
Dude, I love some of the memes that have come out of the whole situation though, like the reverse Flash meme. It was me, Barry. I got Ezra Miller cast as you, so he would ruin your image.
That's funny.
And it's so apparently, like according to insider rumblings, like Ezra is canned as the Flash after the Flash movie.
I hope so.
Because the Flash movie has gotten past screening, and apparently everyone who's seen the movie think it's a really fucking good movie. So they are releasing it, unless next week we could wake up and they could cancel that.
And
one too.
he's probably already been paid out anyways.
Yeah.
Right, for it. So I mean,
So they might as well
But-
release it.
The problem relating to the Batgirl movie is that, as you guys probably know, Michael Keaton, who was Batman in the '89 Tim Burton film, was coming back in the Flash movie.
oh, I heard about
to
that.
reprise the role. And originally the Flash movie was supposed to come out before the Batgirl movie because Flash was going to like rewrite continuity and make Michael Keaton Batman instead of Ben
shit.
Affleck. So Michael Keaton was also in Batgirl. But now, because of like everything that's going on with the Flash and it getting pushed back, Batgirl was going to come out first. So part of it is probably DC thinks that it'd be confusing if Michael Keaton was just Batman in this Batgirl universe with no explanation. And then, of course, we have the whole situation where, like, we have Robert Pattinson as Batman in a separate universe that has nothing to do with the DCEU, which Matt Reeves is Batman.
And how
Again,
many
really
Jokers?
good.
How many Jokers do we have at this point?
Well,
We only
technically,
got 3.
Was
Well, no, 2, because Jared Leto's out, so 2.
is Jared Leto out?
yeah, his last appearance was in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Like, he was mentioned, I think, in the other Suicide Squad movie, but, like, he hasn't shown up.
And Joaquin Phoenix probably isn't going to show up in anything.
Because that was like Matt
outside-
Reeves' Batman. That's like an independent thing.
Yeah, he's probably not going to show up in anything outside his own Joker continuity.
Did you hear that apparently the second Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie is going to be a musical?
I did hear that, and that makes no sense to me.
Dude, but like,
and that might be fun.
I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to that because I didn't expect to like the Joker movie as much as I did.
I felt like it was going to be good. I'm still hoping for... This is what I'm hoping for. Willem Dafoe as Joker before I die.
I know, dude.
Willem Dafoe as...
He would be so good in that role.
Just look at his role as Green Goblin, because Green Goblin is essentially Spider-Man's Joker.
Yeah. Dude, that would be so well done.
All right, so are we still talking about this, or do you want me to talk about day 2?
Go back to day. Go to day 2.
Now we can go to day 2.
Go to day 2. Hang on.
All right.
Let me just check.
Day 2 of the Rolling Louds.
Day
Of rolling in a deep.
of Rolling in the Loud.
Throw me another water bottle.
Yeah, can you grab me one too?
You splashed me, you heathen. You got water on him. Now he's gonna walk off set, and we're not gonna get to finish the episode.
So, day 2 was slightly less eventful in the way of everything really went off without a hitch.
That's a shame.
Damn.
Yeah, right.
I was hoping you ended up like boxing some like teenage girls.
Yeah, right. So today, that day, man, who did we
Today
see?
on day 2.
The big names we saw was Ski Mask, and this was literally all in a row. We didn't have to move. We just stood in the same spot. Ski Mask, the Slump God, Little Uzi, and then Future. So that was like a really good run, and we stayed up. We just stood up in one spot and watched for like hours, and it was really cool because I mean, the person I was with, God bless her soul, she always wanted to get right up front. Now here's the problem with that. She wasn't good at reading the room, so she pushed her way up to the front, and mind you,
my God.
she's like a little 5'4", like just girl, like cute girl, so she like was able to squeeze past people and not get dirty looks, because even in the case of people cared, they're like, oh, she's kind of cute and she looks harmless.
You, however, are not
Me,
a 5'4"
however,
cute girl.
I'm not a cute 5'4" girl. So when I tried squeezing past people, I got dirty looks.
Because people think you're a fucking asshole.
Because people think I'm an asshole. And I low-key felt like an asshole, because these people have probably been waiting there, and I'm just, yep, let me get past you real quick.
But at the same time, it's not like you're just gonna not like also go up to the front with the
Yeah.
person you're with. It's not
So-
like you're gonna be like, I'll wait here.
But here's the thing: once you get to a certain row, around the stage, and this is like each stage, there'll be like a row. It would be like 5 rows deep of people that are so tightly woven to people, like of people, that you can't even get your arm up to put your phone up, and it's like a shell that you can't break. So if you didn't get up there like early on, you're not getting up there.
So it's like a Greek phalanx battle formation of
Yeah.
people tightly wound together,
Yeah.
like sardines.
It's very uncomfortable because, mind you, it's Miami, Florida heat.
It's
and this
sweltering,
is not, and, this,
with
and
all
this,
the
and
people
this
on top
is
of each
outside,
other,
right?
Yeah, in the summer outside.
and everyone on top of each other makes it even more hot.
So it's just nasty. You have more of other people's sweat on you than you have of your own sweat,
Ugh.
Ooh.
and it is just it is just nasty. So,
I'll just stick to listening to all of those artists on Spotify. Thank you.
and another thing, I felt responsible for, because I didn't want like her to get like because like with the thought of like Astroworld in the back of everybody's minds at
Yeah.
the concert,
No one wants to like.
everybody was
yeah.
mentioning Astroworld and how everyone has to be careful. And mind you, I could definitely see like before I had ever, this was like my second music thing I had ever gone to. I went to one Young Gravy concert,
I remember when you went to the Young Gravy
and then
concert.
That
I
sounds
went
fun.
and I went to this. So before, I never really understood like how could you get like fucking trampled in a crowd, like just back up,
Yeah,
like just get off of
But
them.
you knew.
But
when
as soon
you
as I went there, I understood. I'm like, if someone fell down right now, what would happen is someone would immediately get pushed on top of them, and that would be it. You wouldn't be able to get off them. So I'm thinking to myself like, I'm getting like when the crowd starts getting crazy, I'm getting smashed around, right? I'm thinking I'm the entire time in my mind I'm worried for this girl I'm with, because if I'm getting fucking thrashed around,
She's
She's
gonna get
really
ragdolled.
gonna get-
she's getting
Yeah.
ragdolled. So I'm like trying to at least make sure she's like, even though she's not right with me, I'm trying to at least make sure she's in my eye shot the entire time. But I'm also trying to get hyped and listen to the music. So yeah, it was pretty uneventful. Little Uzi came out officially.
As gay.
Not as gay, but before he went out like a week or so earlier, he did change his pronouns to like they them on Instagram, and then he officially came out this time with a shirt that says they them. So I feel like that solidified it. Ski Mask was really cool in concert. Ski Mask was really worried about the crowd. He stopped.
Really?
He stopped the show probably like 16 times because he said before when the show started that if anyone needs like to get out or like needs help to just like all point down like at like that. And he didn't know if people were just trolling him or if people actually needed help, but he did like stop the show each time someone like a group of people pointed down.
Dude,
like
that's
that.
so awesome. My respect for Ski Mask
Yeah,
just went
respect
up.
for that.
So that was cool of him. Then Little Uzi came on. Little Uzi was cool. And then Future came on. Future was great. So, but like I said, that day kind of went off without a hitch. There was no major problems. Oh, one thing I would like to say: if you ever want to go Rolling Loud, eat beforehand. And then if you're hungry,
Absolutely.
if
I
you're
was gonna ask you how that venue situation works.
And if you're hungry afterwards, eat afterwards. Because two things. It's going to be very hard for you to get food. The lines are crazy.
Everything's probably expensive.
And two, everything's expensive. How much would you spend on a euro?
a euro.
A euro.
If I went to a restaurant,
Like, man, if a sit-down restaurant is different, let's just
Okay.
say you're going and you're getting it made at like a stand or
If
something.
I got it at like a stand,
Like a-
probably like $6.
$6.
I
$7.
would probably expect like at most to be paying like $8.50.
$16.
Fuck that.
$16.
16.
That better be
Oh,
the
boy.
best damn euro I've ever had in my fucking life.
$16.
Was it a good euro?
I didn't eat it.
He didn't eat it. He just
The
saw
li-
it. He
I
said
saw
he
the
didn't
price
eat
and I
there.
was like, fuck that. And the line was already really long. I'm like, I'm gonna have to stand in this long ass line to get robbed? No, thank you.
That euro better make me see fucking God.
Better make you Greek.
Yeah, right.
I'm Greek now.
So yeah, that was day 2.
You know, I'm enjoying this, so keep going. Let's just go right into day
No,
3.
one thing
Oh.
I want to just touch on real quick, just to like spin off the whole like.
If you can't tell, it's starting to get hot out
It's
here.
hot out here. The whole like giant like crowd mob that always forms at like shows. My personal pet peeve is anytime I've gone to like a concert, like in my life, I've yet to go to a festival. I want to go to like an actual like hype festival.
Yeah.
But
I've only been to 2 concerts.
We should-
talk
oh.
I've
about.
been to like a dozen concerts, I think.
We should go to Rolling Loud in New York.
So that's next year.
I don't know. It might be later on this year. I don't know. But I'm just saying. Like side note, we should go to Rolling Loud in New York.
I'm looking that up because I would love to go back to New York, dude. Maybe see the fam.
I'm pretty sure they still have it.
Oh, 2022. Ooh, September 23rd to 25th.
Really? That's how close it is?
Damn. I'll just have to go. All right.
I didn't know it was that close down.
I didn't know it was like a month away. That's crazy.
I might not be able to go to next year. It's a decent amount of money to drop. Plus, we'd probably drive there. So, but also gas money and all that.
And where are you gonna stay?
Hotel. So yeah, that's all.
In New York. Yeah, that's gonna be more money.
But yeah, so
So did you just like?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to finish that thought?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
So, whenever I've gone to a concert, anyone that I'm with, because like of course like you said, people like to go up to the front of the as close to the stage as possible. You see, that's fine and good. I probably touched on this before on the podcast, but I have social anxiety quite a bit. So like I don't like when I'm in like a public place that I'm not familiar with to like leave the sight of who I'm with. So that means that like when my like short like fucking when I'm with Brad at a show, when I'm with someone who's like half a foot shorter than me and he's like marching up to the fucking front of the crowd, like of course I'm gonna fucking go up there with him. But then I turn into that fucking like tall asshole
Oh yeah, who's like getting in front of everybody?
who's like in front of everybody.
I feel bad about that too at concerts.
Because like, and then like I don't even know what to do because like sometimes I'm like, do I just like awkwardly stand in the back and like ward off a panic attack like internally, or do I like go up front but then like squat down? Because like I feel bad. Like
Honestly,
I'm a tall dude. I know that like I piss people off.
Dude, I say everyone else is gonna stand in your way, so you might as well stand too and enjoy the show.
You know what it is? I feel like having someone like taller than you and just trying to see around them, that's just part of the concert experience at this point. You gotta expect that.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
so you can't worry about it.
You
too
can't
much.
you can't be worrying about yourself like that at a concert. Like enjoy the show. You spent money.
A lot of manners go out the window. That's with everybody.
So I think I might have told you this one, Sam. I don't think I told you this, Jarick. But when I went to go see Hail the Sun, I was of course up front by the stage. Because you know, again, had to be up there with the crew. And I'm just like vibing to the. I don't even think Hail the Sun was on yet. I think it was one of their opening acts. It was like right before that. No, it was the beginning of their set. And like this guy behind me like says something like to me, but it's one of those moments where like the music's literally so fucking loud.
You can't hear it shit.
You like can't fucking hear shit. And I wasn't sure, like it wasn't clear if he was talking to me. And then I like turned around and like looked at him. And like he was with a girl, and I'm like, okay. And I like looked at them, and for a split second, I almost thought that like they said something, because like they vaguely resembled like people I went to high school with. So I was like, do I know them? Are they like saying like, yo George, what's up? And then they don't say anything else, so I turn back around, but then the dude literally like grabs me from behind, and like yells in my ear like, move out of the way, my girlfriend's standing where you are. And then he literally physically moves me out of the way.
Yo.
And like, dude,
See, me personally, I would
not
never
have let that slide.
I would have never have taken that level of disrespect.
that's the thing, dude. The only reason I didn't do anything is because, well, you know, the people I were with aren't exactly like
Good backup.
combat ready people. If you were there, Jarick, I might, because it was just him.
Yeah.
It was just him and
Nah,
his girlfriend.
Nah, because that's fucked up.
And that's it. But if like I had someone there that I'm like, okay, if I start getting my ass kicked, they can jump in and they can help me. Like I get that like I'm blocking the way for like you and like your girlfriend to see the show.
At least tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, my girlfriend can't see. Do you
But
mind moving a bit?"
To physically move me out
I
of
mean,
the way.
it did sound like he did that, but at least make sure that because maybe he thought that he like
Maybe they thought
ignored
you
him,
like ignored. Yeah.
but at the same time, like at least like make sure, you know.
Sounds like the dude just has a short temper.
Yeah, it does. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Can you guys hold on to this conversation real quick? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. You guys can keep on talking, or just about something else. When I come back, I'll talk about day 3.
Got
All
it.
right.
It's just like the audacity of some people, honestly. Because I would never think of doing that. I have been stuck behind tall people at shows before. And I just think like, oh well, that fucking sucks.
You just have to deal
That's
with
just
it.
my shitty luck, but I can still hear the music. I've never thought, you know what, I'm gonna fucking commit assault
I'm gonna ruin this person's day.
I'm gonna absolutely overstep my boundaries completely.
Manners really do go full out the window when you go to a concert, though.
It
It's
really
everyone
is.
for themselves.
Everyone like turns primal when they go see a show.
I feel like the only time that wouldn't be an issue is if you're having like a major concert in like a stadium, like
it's a different
Coldplay concert or something.
It's a different vibe.
Because then everyone
everywhere.
can see it.
Because this was like in like a dive bar. It was like something out of like Guitar Hero.
Okay, yeah, so that would be that kind of environment.
Like
then.
that's one environment. Then like a festival, like fairgrounds or like big like indoor stadium is another thing. And then one other thing is
Hello.
then we have like arenas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like regular old like sit down as if you were going to like I don't know, some like choir recital or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And those ones are usually like laid back. Like when I went to the arena at I think UCF it was, and I saw Bring Me the Horizon, because like then it's like almost no different than if you go and like see a movie or like a play or something. You have an assigned seat, you go over there, you sit down, and you don't have to worry about like, oh, am I gonna get like shoved by the people like beside me or whatnot.
Where'd Jarick go?
Probably went to use the bathroom.
What's up, man?
I like Jarick's face.
This thing is getting pretty long. We've been here about hour 20 minutes, I think.
Well, Jarick can talk about
I'll talk
day
about
three.
day 3. real
Yeah,
quick.
day 3 rolling loud.
So,
And then after that we can...
I think the camera just died.
not the camera.
It died? I don't understand.
You know what was funny? I was literally thinking to myself. I was thinking like, what if the pool guy comes here? That was literally a thought.
It's kind of funny.
It
Oh,
is
well.
kind of funny.
So I'll just talk about day 3 real quick. So day 3 was the headliner of day 3 was Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh,
That's a
all right.
that's a
So
good
that was a big
headliner.
one. Lil Baby, Kodak, Baby Keem,
Kodak.
Trippie Redd was a big one. So I remember a big one was man, it was a good day. It was a good day. I saw Baby Keem, Kodak, Lil Baby, and Kendrick. But today was an interesting day because today was like the biggest event happening of all of them, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, mind you, we get to the Baby Keem concert, and the person I'm with, we're vibing, we're listening to the music, we're trying to get deeper into the crowd, right? And then we get pretty deep, and then all of a sudden the person I'm with says, "Hold on to me." Now, mind you, up until this point, I thought she was just gonna have me like lead me deeper into the crowd since she had been doing that this entire time. But I grab onto her shoulder and immediately she just drops.
What?
She just drops. She faints.
Holy shit.
Oh.
She hadn't been drinking water. So, mind you, she drops in my arms and I try to pick her back up. But people tend to forget that dead weight is way heavier than like when someone's conscious.
Because they're not offering any assistance.
Even though I could pick her up pretty easily normally, like I could not lift her up for the life of me because
Because she's on the ground.
she's on the ground. She has everybody else, her saying everybody else's sweat on her. I have my sweat. It's hot, but I get her up with the help from another dude, and we carry her over to like the side area, and we're able to throw her kind of like over the fence into the care of like the staff, because they had this field here full of people and this here field full of people, and then it had like a little intersection like this that was like that staff could walk up and down, and so that was interesting. We got her over there. They sent her to the medical tent because there was like a medical tent where they kind of sit you back in a like a bed, and they have 4 industrial sized fans surrounding each bed, and then they just like throw cold water on you. And they say if you're not up and walking in 10 minutes, we're calling the
ambulance.
No, we're bringing you to the hospital. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Essentially. So, she goes there, and I'm like, this is great. I can't even enjoy Baby Keem now. like I gotta go to the medical tent to make sure she's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So I do. I go to the medical tent, and she's all right. Baby Keem.
Miss Baby.
Miss Baby Keem. But we go back for Kodak and Little Baby and Kendrick. And
How was the Kendrick concert?
Oh, Kendrick was great. Though I did notice that he didn't have a lot of crowd interaction. He was just very like, I'm gonna perform these songs and then leave. And that's what he did.
So would you say his stage presence was good then, or?
Yeah, no, he had a good stage presence, but he didn't really work
He just
the
wants to
crowd
do
at
his
all.
shit and then get out of there.
Yeah, and this is a complete side note. He's the only one who didn't tell people to open up a mosh pit, which I was grateful for. People still did, but I was grateful for it because artists these days, they have this tendency of like saying, "Open up the pit," every song, and I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
I do not need to open up the mosh pit to one of your slow songs.
Dude, people are just eager to open up mosh pits and, like, I don't know, get thrashed around.
They just want to die.
I never saw the appeal of mosh pits, but even I've been to shows where the performer straight up says no fucking mosh pits, and there still ends up being a mosh pit created by the end of it. It's so infuriating.
Mosh pit I can handle for about 2 songs, but I'm the type of dude that like, I don't know. Oh, they let the dog out. I'm the type of dude that gets like easily irritated, agitated. So I get like a headache after being thrashed around for that long.
Yeah.
So that was the gist of it. It was a good experience. I'm not sure if I ever go to Rolling Loud again. Mark my words. If I ever go to Rolling Loud again, I am going to go. I'm going to get the VIP tickets.
All right, we're going to
You really
New
think it'd
York.
be-
We're going to New
How
York
much
in
do
a
those
month.
cost?
Probably like $1,000 at least.
Oh.
And they only have a
All right,
select
Jarick.
amount, so you had to get it in early.
We're gonna be going next month.
You're paying for me?
I'm paying for all 3 of us.
Because I'm not spending $1,000.
I'll just max out my credit card.
All right, bet. Shake up. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we gotta do it.
You're gonna get the Clickmates exclusive behind the scenes of Rolling Loud.
Yeah, we're going to
2
interview all the
months from
artists.
now, our episode that we drop is just at Rolling Loud, not even like at the hotel room afterwards.
We're in the mosh pit, and I'm just holding my laptop.
Hey, welcome back to the Clickmates right now.
Right now we're fuck. But Jared, didn't you say you almost got in 2 separate fights?
Yeah, what's the
right,
second
right,
one?
right. The second fight almost happened this day. It was, of course, it was going to see Kendrick.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm with a group at this point because even though I came with 1 people, we found like a group of people to hang out with.
Oh, that's tight.
Good.
And we were trying to get to the front as a group, and this other dude gets in front of me, like from behind me, gets in front of me, like basically the same thing we were doing, so I couldn't be too mad, and gets in front of me, and he was tall as hell, I couldn't see past him, and he was separating me from the rest of the group. Now, I wasn't gonna do anything, but
Me personally, I was not gonna do a damn thing.
You just let it slide?
I just let it slide. But my group was like, "Nah, man, fuck that. What is this dude doing? Why, like, get in front of you when he's that much taller than you and shit?" And then one of the guys that was with literally grabbed me by my shirt and pulled me past him so hard I bumped into this dude and checked him.
Oh my god.
And then of course I didn't want to fight, but I had to act like I'd fuck him up if I had to, which I mean I would, but I had to like act stronger. Sometimes you gotta act tough to avoid fights.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you gotta show that like you're actually
About it.
you're actually about it,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, okay, no.
Yeah.
You either got to
Yeah.
do that, or you've got to like turn the charisma up to 11,
Yeah.
and you've really got to sell
Just
it.
seduce them.
Yeah. And so mind you that was in one instance, but shortly after we kind of formed an alliance with everybody around us and we all collectively agreed that no more people were going to get past us coming from the back.
So you all locked arms.
Yeah, we kind of locked up. The term was no new friends. That's what we said. We're all friends here, no new friends. And this one guy came up and tried pushing past this dude. And there's this one really outspoken guy. He was very outspoken, and he was hilarious. He was just like, hey, buddy, I don't know you. I don't recognize you. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're not getting past me. He's like, bro, I'm just trying to get through. He's like, bro, no new friends. Like, who the fuck are you? He's
No new friends.
He's like, you're random. You're tall, you're lanky. You built like the dude off the Cinnamon Toast Crunch box. Like, I don't fuck with
Holy
you.
shit,
Like,
dude.
he's like, and then he gets past him somehow. Like this tall, lanky dude.
I'm imagining that he like turned intangible, just like face through.
So somehow he gets past him, and mind you, that dude who got past us, he also had like a girlfriend, and she was behind. So he was like, "Hey, let her through, bro. That's my girl." And then he's like, "That's my girl, man. Just let her through. Come on, bro." And then guy from before, the funny guy, was like, "I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I don't give a fuck if it's your girl or not. It looks like your sister, to be honest with you." And then he's like, bro, let her in, dog. I'm serious, I'm about to fuck you up. And the guy goes, because mind you, we have like a group of like legit 15 people. It's just this dude and his girlfriend. So the funny dude, he's feeling reckless. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and her. And then he's like, no new friends. You're not getting through. And we're all laughing and we're just laughing. And then finally they like the dude kept on pestering him. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let her through just because you're annoying as fuck. And then they get through, and he goes, they're holding hands and kissing, but she dead ass looks like her sister. It's just like they look like they're related. And then we're just roasting him. Oh no, you know what's funny? I forgot this. When she like went past him, the funny guy who was like, say thank you.
Oh my god.
And she did it. She's like, thank you, sir. And then like went through. So she was a nice girl, but we're just all like on demon time, so we're just roasting.
That dude's a legend.
And then I remember at one point he said something to the dude because the dude was in front of him. He said something to the dude, and then the dude like turned the tall lanky dude that was trying to get through. He turned around. I'm just gonna call him the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy. This is the Apple Jacks guy. The Apple Jacks guy. The Apple Jacks.
Yeah.
The tall lanky. The cinnamon.
I'm gonna say Cinnamon Toast Crunch isn't tall and lanky.
It's funny. I didn't even register you said Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I still thought of the.
Yeah, the Apple Jack guy. The Apple Jack guy. The cinnamon guy. And he turned around and like started staring the funny dude down. Funny dude's like, oh, you look like you want to do something. Come back here. Do something. Make my day. Because we're like a group of 15 people. He's like, you come back here, we're jumping the shit out you. And then we're all laughing, and then the guy's like, hey, like he was speaking to everyone around here. He's like, hey, if that pussy comes back here, like you got me if you got me in a fight. He's like, everyone's like, yeah, we got you, bro. We'll fuck him up if he tries anything. And he's like, yeah, stay your ass up there. You don't want any of this. Enjoy your time with your sister. Was just roasting him the entire time. And mind you, this dude looks pissed. And eventually, at one point, he did try coming back, but his girlfriend grabbed him. He was like, and then the funny guy was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, girlie, keep a leash on your bitch. Keep a leash on your bitch. Just antagonizing this dude, bro. And I'm like right there. Like if fist starts flying, I'm getting hit just collateral damage. But luckily nothing happened.
Dude, it just really is so crazy to me how
It's
just
high octane shit.
just being in a group can just like dial people's cockiness up to like 20.
Being in a group makes you feel. I mean, even in a less cocky way, like if you're walking like in a sketchy area, you're gonna feel a lot better about it if you're like with a group of like 15 people. If you were with a group of 15 people,
I would,
because then you're not gonna be afraid of anything.
Because that's the thing.
Was one guy gonna come up with a knife?
Unless like a whole fucking gang jumps us, I feel safe.
Yeah, what are the chances? What are the chances of a whole organized gang jumping 15 people on the street?
But like, if I'm walking through like a like sketchy neighborhood like by myself, well, for starters, I typically don't do that. But if I did, I'd be like nervous, like paranoid, looking over my fucking shoulder the whole time. I'd be trying to like get through the area as fast as I could, and I'd still be nervous if I was only with like one or two other folks. I'd be like, okay. But if you're with fucking 15 people, I'd be like, you would have to be fucking...
We're fine,
You'd have to be fucking stupid to
got
do
some
something.
immunity.
Someone's gonna come up behind us with one gun and be like, give me all 15 of your money.
All 15. You didn't say what kind of money though, George. Is it 15 Bitcoin, 15
15
quarters?
you won.
like even if like one or two guys came out with like guns, like I don't know. I feel like 15 people could fight off two people with guns, especially if they like came up and they were within grabbing distance.
Yeah, if they're right in front of you. Not to really derail this conversation, but you need to have like an element of surprise with the gun, because like you point at someone, they can probably do that and swipe it away faster than you can like get the courage to like consider pulling the trigger.
Also, even if the people with guns just start shooting, like, unless they have like automatic weapons or semi-automatic weapons, they're not going to be. I don't
Bolt
think
action
at
pistols.
close range. I don't think they'd be able to gun down 15 fucking people before they get stopped. Maybe they like shoot like half a dozen times, but then the guns are out of their hands and they're on the floor like getting curb stomped.
So yeah, it'd just be better not to fuck with a group of 15 people.
So Jarick,
Unless you're in a group of 25 people.
what do you rate Rolling Loud out of 10? 10 being it's the best concert
Ever.
venue you could ever go to in your life. It is the peak.
So I'll tell you like this. The stage had really good, like, man, they had like fireworks, they had like fucking flamethrowers going off. It was a really cool sight to see. If you are a fan of rap music, if you look at the lineup and you see like at least 10 people you want to see, it is worth the $500. Because think about it, you're probably going to be paying like almost $100 to see these guys individually.
Yeah.
At least sometimes. So it's worth the money. If you're going to the one in Miami, Florida, you gotta be prepared for 1, long walks, 2, it being hot, and 3, it being expensive for food. If you're okay with all those things, and you're okay, then you're probably gonna be glad you went to Rolling Loud. If you are intolerant to heat and sun, don't even think about going. Don't even think about going.
Yeah.
If you're intolerant to the heat and intolerant to the sun, don't even think about going. That is what I'll say. Me personally, like I used to work outside 8 hours a day, so it wasn't anything new to me. Even though we still get hot in the summer in Florida,
I mean, like we're starting to sweat right now,
we're starting
and
to-
it's the morning.
we're starting to sweat right now. But like at the same time, like we've all been here for years. We're at least a little bit accustomed to the heat.
Yeah, we're all basically from here.
Yeah.
Man, those crickets are really loud.
It has like a school fire alarm
That's
going
I think
on.
that's a cicada.
It is a cicada.
It came out of nowhere too. It's in that tree over
It's
there.
a stealth cicada, dude.
Those things are so loud.
All right.
But I'd say if
But
I had to rate it, 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Pretty fair score.
Yeah,
8 out of 10.
okay.
All right, guys. This has been a fun one.
This has been a really good episode.
This has been a really good episode. I've enjoyed it.
I'm thinking about like with the editing. I'm probably not going to do that much editing. It's going to be a long one,
Yeah.
but oh well.
The only editing
'Cause
is going to
it's
be splicing the video together.
Yeah, and honestly, for the video one, I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching and listening, everybody. Follow us on social media. We're on TikTok.
Instagram.
We're on Instagram.
Twitter.
Those cicadas don't want us to tell you our social media.
Fuck off, cicadas.
Follow us on social media, and leave us please leave us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever it is that you get your podcasts. It will greatly help us out. We are growing. We're nearing 200 downloads now, and
Every little bit helps.
Every bit helps, and I want us to keep going from here.
The cicada's a fan.
The cicadas, maybe they are fans. Maybe they're gonna be listening.
Like, woo!
They're the day ones.
In any case, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you soon.
We will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.